Welcome back. And now a feature on men and women's soccer with Matt Quandt.
Coming into the home stretch of the season, Baker men's and women's soccer teams are fighting position in the postseason race.
After a disappointing loss to Benedictine, the men match up against the defending national champion, Graceland, on Saturday.
Yeah, Graceland's huge. They are having a very, very good season. They slipped up a little bit against Culver, surprisingly. But they're the national champions, and they have that much class. We went up to their place last year and gave them a really, really good run for their money. We played solid football for 80 minutes. We're probably the better team in those 80 minutes, and in the last 10 minutes kind of took our foot off the pedal. They counterattacked, scored a goal, and they finished us off 1-0. After that, they went on to win the national championship, which I think them doing that last year has actually given our team this year a lot of confidence in our abilities and really has helped us have the season we've had so far. Having said that, big-time conference game, big-time conference implications. It's going to depend on the result will implicate who finishes where in the region and who hosts games in the regional tournament. So, big game, very, very excited for it. I'm sure my players are too, and looking forward to playing Graceland at home.
Even with the tough road ahead of them, the men are optimistic about the season.
Very, very tough to say how far this team can go. Our policy this year has been game by game, so the fact that I even need to answer that question is a bit of a challenge. But having been posed with that question, the sky's the limit for this group. If they come together and we go game by game, who knows what can happen. I don't know of many, many teams out there that are much better than this team. Yeah, there are one or two teams that are better than what we have, but if we show up and we play our game and we play with a bit of Baker pride and show some grit, who knows what can happen in those games. Having said that, we're still young. We're definitely learning, and hopefully we can have huge success this year, but if we don't have it this year, we've got to keep that hunger and hopefully get better and better over the next few years.
While the Baker men are hoping to go deep into the postseason, the women have similar goals on the pitch. With only 2 games remaining, Baker sits at 9-5-2. The team faces off at Missouri Valley on Wednesday. Then, on Saturday, the Cats are back to face Graceland at Liston Stadium for senior night. Go cheer on your teams as they try to make a postseason run into November.
Reporting from Liston Stadium, this has been Matt Quandt for KNBU TV.
Thanks, Matt. And now we're going to move to an in-studio interview with head volleyball coach Kathy Allen.
Thanks, Charisse. I'm joined now by Coach Allen of the volleyball team. Coach, thanks for coming on the show.
Sure.
You guys are having a great season so far, 23-11, 6-2 in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, how do you feel about the season?
Let's see. I've been here about 10 years, and I can honestly say this has been one of the most enjoyable seasons that I've had in Baker volleyball so far.
That's awesome. What do you attribute to that? Is it the players? Is it the chemistry? Is it your relationship with the players? What makes this season so great?
Well, I think it's kind of a combination. We have incredible chemistry on the team. They, for some reason, they all just seem to get along, and sometimes that's a little bit difficult with women. But they really like each other. They enjoy being around each other, and most notably, they still enjoy coming to practice. So we're doing something right somewhere.
Coach, you've got some great leaders on this year's squad. Who are they, and what have they done to contribute to the team?
Well, you're right. We do have some good leadership. Some of them are captains, and actually some of them aren't. We have Kelly Wilbur. She's been captain. This is her 2nd year. She's a senior, and she has contributed just immensely to the team chemistry, to the development of our younger players, and to just keeping the team together as a whole. Our other 2 captains are juniors, Jade Allen and Alexis Pryor, and they also do a really, really nice job of bringing a lot to the court and showing and demoing what the expectations are to the younger players.
You mentioned those younger players. I know Macy Harshberger's played a huge role. She's just a freshman. How do you feel about your younger girls on the team, and how have they made that transition into college volleyball?
Well, sometimes it's difficult, but those 2 have really done a very good job. We have both Macy Harshberger and Brooke Pryor, our starters on the team, and both of them have adjusted very well. They had their moments because they don't realize how fast the ball comes and how big the block is until they've had a chance to play in a few games. So it's a little startling at first, and both of them had some adjustments to make, but both of them are now playing more like upperclassmen. Macy has a tremendous serve. And we score probably the most points in the rotation where she is serving. And then Brooke Pryor, of course, she's just almost as strong as big sister Alexis, and gets a lot of kills for us in the front row.
Well, that's fantastic. Coming up, we have William Jewell. They're a tough conference opponent, also ranked in the region, not quite as high as you are. What's it going to take to beat them next week?
We're going to have to play our A game because William Jewell won the conference last year and really only lost one major player on their team. So they're very good, and they've been on a fairly extensive winning streak until just recently. And so we're going to have to be playing our A game. We're going to have to execute our offense perfectly. We're going to have to serve aggressively and of course, play good defense. We're very, very, very well matched with them. We're very similar.
Right. Talent has certainly been in excess for you guys this year with Jade Allen and both the Pryor sisters. I know Jade Allen's won the Conference Player of the Week and the Regional Player of the Week, so has Alexis Pryor. Tell me a little bit about the individual accolades you guys have received this year.
Oh, gosh, let's see. Along with, of course, our record, Alexis has been named to 2 all-tournament teams. Jade has been named to 1 all-tournament team. Jade's been Conference Player of the Week 3 times. Alexis has been Conference Player of the Week 3 times. Each of them have been Regional Player of the Week several times. Our setter, Whitney Segrist, also has been Conference Player of the Week and Regional Player of the Week. So we've got a number of players who are contributing and being recognized.
Right, certainly have a lot of weapons, and that's got to be a great feeling going into the postseason. Let's talk a little bit about the HAC tournament now. You guys are tied with Benedictine in second, right behind Lindenwood, where who beat you guys here, but it was a very tough loss, close games. What's it going to take to win this conference?
That's a really good question because right now it's out of our hands. What it's going to take to win the conference is for us to win our next 2 matches and for Lindenwood to lose.
Right.
And of course Lindenwood's out of our hands, and because they're 8-0 right now and we're 6-2. So what we want to do is we want to establish and play our own game. Take care of the next 2 matches so that we can take sole possession, hopefully, of at least second place. And that will ensure that we get a home game for the conference tournament.
Right, and you guys have had some great crowds this year. How important is it to be able to host a game in the postseason?
Oh, it's huge. And we have an excellent home crowd advantage here because we have such a positive force and we have so many students that come out and support the team and faculty and staff and parents and just town people. We've had high schools and junior high schools bring in whole teams to come and support us. So our kids really feed off of our home crowd, and they love playing at home. They're so excited about home games. So that's definitely something that we are one of our goals is to get a home game.
Great. Well, Coach, you guys have had a fantastic season. Good luck the rest of the way. Back to you in the studio, Charisse.
Thanks, Chris. Now we're going to move to a quick commercial break.